Our next speaker is going to be Varun Bansal. He is 11 years old and he goes to McKelvey Intermediate School. He has a bunch of hobbies too. He loves to play basketball and soccer, and he loves to read too. Please welcome my very good friend and great speaker, Varun Bansal.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you?
Good.
Okay, that's great. My name is Varun Bansal. I would like to take a moment to recognize that amazing speech by Mayor about the transition between elementary school and middle school. My favorite part was the part about freedom and how you get more of it. I personally am in middle school and I love the freedom. Today, I'll be talking about child labor. Child labor is a global issue that needs to be stopped. My three subtopics will be, firstly, what it is and where it happens. Then I'll talk about its history in the United States and what is presently going on. And finally, I'll talk about what is being done to help. This brings me to my first point. Child labor is not like doing chores around the house or running chores or activities for your mom and dad. Child labor is way more severe. Child labor is a circumstance in which a child is forced to do work because of poverty or another reason. Most of the time, they are bypassing their education to work. Child labor happens all around the world. Child labor happens in India, in Pakistan, and also in Iran, and Afghanistan, and even in the United States and Canada. Child labor happens all around the globe. As the ILO, or International Labor Organization, states, there are 168 million kids in child labor, and 85 million of those kids are in what ILO deems dangerous conditions. This was one of the most surprising facts to me, because, as many of you know, Russia, which is the country with the largest landmass, has a lower population than the number of child laborers. This brings me to my second point. Child labor has been part of the United States history for as far back as anyone can remember. But it first became a problem during the 19th century when the Industrial Revolution became dangerous for many children. Does anyone know what the Industrial Revolution was? No? Okay.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So the Industrial Revolution was the occurrence when many factories were made and the production of goods became faster. During this time, children were forced to work in factories, and this was a dangerous condition for them. Now, even though this was dangerous for them, the employers liked them even more, for a few reasons. One was that they were nimble and quick, so they could do functions that the adults couldn't do. This was also helpful in the mining industry, because they could fit in mine shafts that the adults couldn't get to. Another reason they were good was because the employer could pay them less and make them work longer hours, and this worked because the children didn't have a voice, and they couldn't be heard and fight against this unfairness. Luckily, some people fought for them. These people were called reformers. Reformers believed that children should be getting an education and not working. But even then, not much change came, because reformers didn't make up the majority of the population. And even in the 20th century, when many companies pledged to see the end of child labor, not much change came, because as many people know, you need the public support to make great change. Finally, during the Great Depression, change came. Does anyone know what the Great Depression is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Wasn't it like a period in time where people lost many jobs?
Yes, so as the young gentleman said, it was the period when many people lost their jobs. So the Great Depression was the occurrence when the economy fell and many of the adults lost their jobs because no one had enough money to pay them. During the Great Depression, the adult working class, many of them, got fired, and these people rallied together to get the jobs that the child laborers had. Now this may seem like a greedy approach to end child labor, but was still a welcome response to the child laborers who didn't want to work. This was the start to end child labor. Sadly, there is still child labor today. Currently, in the United States, there are 800,000 migrant child laborers. Does anyone know what a migrant child laborer is? No? Okay. Migrant child laborers are the sons or daughters of farmers and they have to move from state to state due to droughts or seasons. Migrant child laborers have a few problems. One of them is their education. Migrant child laborers get at max 3 to 4 months of education before having to go back to the fields. Now, this is more than many other countries give their children, but still isn't enough to ensure a bright, good future. Because of this, when the migrant child laborers go back to school, they are forced with having to stay after school and come on weekends to catch up for the many months they missed. But still, it's not enough. And even in the most determined learners are faced with dropping out. Experts estimate that 65% of migrant child laborers end up dropping out of school. This is a high number. This brings me to their second problem, their long workday. Me and you complain about a 6-hour school day, usually. And these migrant child laborers have a 12-hour workday. And this is usually during the summer when we're wasting time, playing, watching TV, reading a book, just wasting time. The workday starts at 6 a.m. and ends at 6 p.m., giving them 12 hours to do what we take for granted, like watching TV, reading, showering, sleeping, and eating. Another problem is their health. They can get hurt in a couple of ways. One way is, let's just say theoretically, they're walking around and they cut their foot on a stone. Now, this may ensure a visit to the doctor for children, but for these migrant child laborers, they can't afford to go to the doctor. So they may get is to wrap up their foot and sit in this family van, not a house. Now this shows how dire the situation is. Another way they can get hurt is, let's just say they're working in the fields and suddenly a plane flies by and drops pesticides all over them. Now for younger children this may cause permanent damage, and for the older kids this can cause rashes and be painful. This brings me to my final point. There are many organizations trying to help. Some of them, like MET and ILO, are helping. MET is based in the US. Does anyone know what MET stands for?
American something, I don't know. Sorry.
It stands for Motivation.
M-E.
Yeah, MET. Motivation, Education, and Training. And that's exactly what MET does. MET is based in the United States and so far has helped 1 million migrant child laborers in 48 states. These children can get help with computer training and also homework help, and for the older students, visits to campuses and colleges so that they may be able to get a bright future. Another organization that is helping is ILO. Does anyone know what that stands for?
We just covered that.
You just
What?
International Labour Organization?
Yes. So if you're listening, that is what it is. As the young gentleman said, ILO is the International Labor Organization. ILO accepts donations and also spreads awareness for the cause. It runs campaigns to spread awareness and tell many people about child labor and how they can help end it. This brings me to my conclusion. Child labor happens all around the globe and has a long history. Luckily, it's on the drop. From 2000 to 2012, 1/3 of child labor has been reduced. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, so thank you.
Cool.
Now I'd like to talk about my experiences in this program. This program has been a unique experience for me, and I've enjoyed it greatly. Along with learning a lot, I've made great friends and have learned a lot. Thank you. That's all.